welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And now I'm going to be speaking with a couple of leaders of our community who are very involved in making a difference, and they want to share with you what exactly they're doing and how you can help. I have with me Casey Ryan, who's the Vice President and Branch Manager of Riverview Bank. Yes. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Beth Wills, owner and General Manager of Gresham Ford.
Hi, Monica.
It's nice to see you again. Yeah, you know, we get together every once in a while on TV.
Yeah.
It's all good. So this year, again, you are both involved with the Fill a Bag program, and this is a benefit for SnowCap.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me about it, Casey. What's going on this year?
This is the fourth year of the Fill a Bag program, and Riverview Community Bank brought it over. It was originally we're headquartered in Vancouver, and Vancouver has this thing called the Walk and Knock. And so
the walk and knock.
And what people do in the community is they put bags of groceries.
Walk and knock.
Yeah, walk and knock.
Sorry, I was putting all one word there. Okay. Walk and knock.
And they put bags out, and people, go out, and it's a big community thing. And Riverview was part of that, but not the driving force. But Riverview has branches up the gorge, up in White Salmon, Golden Dale, Stevenson, and they wanted to do something similar to walk and knock. So they came up with the Fill a Bag, and so they did it up there. And so for about 9 years they've done that. Well, 4 years ago, I was like, well, we could do it in Gresham. And since
and things were starting to get kind of bad financially, the recession and everything, and it was...
it was a good timing, and plus I developed a pretty good relationship with Beth, so I got my workhorse here. Because believe me, this thing doesn't work without her. It doesn't. So
good relationship. That's a good thing.
Yeah. So I think she owed me a favor, and I don't remember what it was. But so we've done this for 4 years now, and we've raised $175,000 the first year, 300 or so the second. 750 last year.
We're talking money? We're talking
pounds of food.
Okay, that's what I was
which
saying.
money's involved in that, and Bess can detail some of that. But so we're going to go from 750,000 last year to 1 million pounds this year.
Wow, you're confident, aren't you? Yeah. That's a lot of food.
Well, it's a lot of food, but there's a great need, Monica.
Tell me about that. Are you able to, is there that much need?
Even though, the economy is getting a little better and we hear things that are getting better, unfortunately, some of the programs that a lot of the, those on the fringes of our community have relied on have been cut back.
That's right.
So, there's been great need in the last couple years just because the economy was terrible. People couldn't get jobs, and you would be surprised the people that took advantage of SnowCap's, services.
People that never thought they would be in that position.
Yeah. I mean, there's always been, the people on fixed incomes like senior citizens and so forth, and obviously, families, that have, with a lot of, medical issues or something like that that have used those services. And that's one of the fabulous things about SnowCap is all of the pounds of food or the money equivalent of that stays right here in our community. Right. There's a lot of great programs out there, but this one is, 100% of the the money raised to buy the food stays within our community.
So whether or not you're donating food or you're donating money to buy food, it could be the person who lives right down the street from you.
Could be.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
somebody that you ride the bus with or whatever.
And so when Casey talks about the pounds, yes, we've talked about this before. A nickel buys a pound of food. The SnowCap can buy a pound of food for an average of a nickel a pound at the Oregon Food Bank.
So really it's almost more beneficial to donate money.
Correct.
And let
and that's why the last 2 years when we finally figured this all out is that after I went and had my grocery carts loaded and blessed Judy Alley, she said, Bess, that's a wonderful thing you did to fill out up all these barrels of food.
However,
but had you given us the money you spent on this food, we could have bought a lot more food.
So that's why these bags are going to be distributed in the Oregon,
the
Outlook, in the Gresham
on
Outlook.
Tuesday the 18th.
And they all have this
fill an envelope.
So you can fill the bag with food, which would be great, but even better would be to fill this little envelope with some money.
And it really important is that no donation is too small. I mean, seriously,
if a nickel can buy a pound of food,
a dollar could buy 20 pounds of food. So
somebody does some good shopping.
$2.50. They say a family of four at the they service a family of 4 for an average of 50 pounds a week. You know, that will sustain a family of 4.
It may not,
It may not
eat like
be-
kings, but they'll
it'll be
they'll get by.
sustainable. And so for $2.50, you know, in that envelope, you really could feed a family for a week.
You know, I was talking with the Metro Toy Drive right before you, and we were talking about how it's great to have kids involved. And, you know, $2.50, I'm sure there's a lot of kids out there that have some allowance that they could put, you know, in there. And what a great way to teach them how to give back and help people that are, you know, in need, or maybe some of those school groups can, you know, get some people, you know, donate some of that money, fill up those envelopes.
Well, my passion's with the kids. I mean,
Yeah.
I have my daughter's in 4th grade and my son's in 8th, and just if you hear about the food insecurity issues, and what food insecurity is, you know, I bet today you didn't worry about eating lunch, right? Okay, now you might
didn't
have
have
worried
time to,
about,
but I did.
But you knew
But
you
I
could.
could,
It was a
yeah.
choice,
Yes,
right?
yes,
I mean,
it
I can
was,
eat,
absolutely.
I can't. Like I
Right.
mean, I fretted about where I was going to eat today. That was my biggest concern around lunch.
Well, yeah, which place do I eat at? Yeah.
Can you imagine not knowing if you were going to eat? I mean, like, and these children, literally, on Fridays, they have lunch. And a 3-day weekend is not good for some kids, because that could be the only meal they know for sure they're going to get. Now, I'm not saying they go all weekend without eating, but a little kid doesn't know.
Yeah.
And then a single mom working has to decide if she's going to eat, you know, and then
And
these are
probably
real
giving
issues.
up some meals so that our children can
Exactly,
eat.
and these are real issues. And what I like about SnowCap is that it's emergency food bank is what it is now. You can't. It's not an ongoing thing. Like they only give a couple of food boxes a year to some people. Now, if you have a letter from your church or from a social service group, they have other programs and you can get more of that. But because I was meeting with the Outlook today and they were asking me about. I said the baby food formula. That's they
probably
can't
huge,
and they can't
huge
buy
need.
that. SnowCap can't go to the food bank and buy that. So they have to
So
buy
if,
it.
if you're going to fill the bag, maybe that's
Yeah.
what you should fill the
Yeah.
bag with.
And so the lady from the Reporter was like, well, they have WIC for that. And I go, you're right. What SnowCap does is bridges that gap from the abused mom who finally left and can't get WIC yet. They bridge that gap until WIC kicks in.
Yeah.
So when I made that point, she was like, oh, I get it. Because, you know, how many people stay in relationships because they're worried about those kind of things, and that's where SnowCap comes in. So everything that's given, the dollars and all that goes, you know, and to me, my passion's the kids. My passion's the single moms. My passion's those. But other people have other passions. And like, I tell people like today, like instead of spending the $10 you were going to spend at lunch, just go home and eat and donate the $10. You were going to spend it anyway. So
Right,
now
right.
$10, you do
You
the
can
math.
buy a lot.
200 pounds?
Yeah.
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 200
You
pounds a family of 4 for a month.
Yeah.
I mean, how amazing is that? And you brought some pictures too. I don't think they've shown them yet, so we can
Okay.
take a look at
Yeah.
those. And it was probably from last year's Fill a Bag program, which it's been more successful every year,
Yeah.
right? You've been doing better and better. And
We have more businesses and more. We have the Gresham Rotaries involved and the Gresham Lions, Breakfast Lions group, and we have businesses. And we say, like with Best does promotions around Fill a Bag for a win-win for Gresham Ford, right? So they sell more cars, they get more people in. Fill a Bag makes more money.
Right.
You know, Riverview does a good job with that. So there's so many people involved.
It helps
you
a
know.
lot. It helps a lot to get the business
Yeah.
community
So
involved in that.
last Friday, the Chamber of Commerce had their AM at our dealership, and we did a drive for the school, or drive for the community,
All right.
excuse me, to raise money for SnowCap. And so we did 80 test drives at $20 a piece, and so that's $1,600
Oh my
basically
goodness, that was just like that.
you know, can happen.
And what
Yeah.
is this? This is
That
this from
is
last year?
that was the AM, the Gresham Chamber
Oh, okay.
AM at the Gresham branch, Riverview. The ending of it. The one on the right is that was the first year we did the Fold a Bag, because that was at the dealership before where Bess's new dealership is now, which is absolutely beautiful. And so those are 70 to 80 people folding these bags
Oh, my
right here
goodness.
and stapling on here so they can go in the Outlook. So
Wow.
that is a community event that's just, I mean, it's fun too, really. I mean, I
Yeah,
had more,
it probably would be, yeah.
Well, I had tons of people today at Rotary that really, they had a lot of people there last Thursday helping, and they were talking about how much fun it is. The one on the left, that was Bess and I,
Last year.
no, 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago.
2 years
Okay.
ago.
Okay.
And then the one on the right was probably the same.
Yeah.
Had a different haircut then.
And wearing your suit and tie. Like
Yes,
that,
I
right?
was,
Yes.
yeah. So,
And so people can drop off the food that's showing and dropping off at Gresham Ford, but they can drop it off at Riverview Community Bank, either at your Wood Village branch or at the branch on Burnside. And
I
you
think
can,
last year we dropped off ours
Right.
at your place,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, you're close right
Yeah,
around
you
the
can do
corner.
there
So
too, yeah.
and the Outlook, you can drop it off at the Outlook, or
that's
you can
close
drop
too.
it off at Stamp Connection in downtown Gresham, or you can drop it off at Greater Gresham Baptist Church. And
lot
then
of
we have a
good-
lot of
easy-
other sites,
easy
a lot of
places.
other
Yeah.
people. Alter Eagle Salon has a barrel. Advanced Care Chiropractic has a barrel. Gresham Family Chiropractic has a barrel.
Wow.
This
Excuse
is us
me.
playing NASCAR driver right now. I like to think that.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Nancy's Flowers, All About Automotive, Les Schwab, Hoppy Brewery, Curtis Ben Don't, Dentist, and Hood Avenue Market. And then there's cash donation jars in Bella Cupcakes, Cascade Athletic, Landmark Tax, at Clear Channel, again at Jazzy Bagel, Cafe Delirium, Accent on Attitude again, Jay Gilletti, and Creative Visions and Landscape, and at Central Market.
Wow. Oh,
So-
that makes it easy. That
Can I
makes
tell you
it
the
really
vision
easy.
of this thing is? Okay.
Why don't
so-
you tell me, Casey?
Okay. So
I have a feeling he's
Gresham
going
wants
anyway.
to be, we need to be known for something, right? Every community wants to be known for something.
Mm-hmm.
You think, okay, that's my vision for this whole thing. And it could work. Okay, right now, Gresham High School is doing a fun food drive for SnowCap, and
Mm-hmm.
churches are and all that. So maybe in the next 2 months, we raise 3 to 5 million pounds. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're raising as a community. But nobody knows because everyone's splintered off doing all this.
Mm.
How about everybody just did it under fill bag? How about every single year, starting
Mm.
November to the end of December, that we raise 5 million pounds for our neighbors?
And then it's written up
But we
all over the
could.
country
That's right.
for
And they,
what
and they
the
come,
wonderful
you know what I
thing-
mean? And they come
yeah.
to us, and it's like, okay, honey, it's November. Okay, fill the bag. What are we going to do? House parties. People doing. I mean,
Yeah.
this whole
Last
thing.
At your
year-
Christmas party
I
or
think
your
small, as you can
holiday
tell.
party,
I-
just have people, instead of bringing, gifts to exchange,
Yeah.
you bring.
Last year we had a
Remember that?
Bunko group do Bunko for
Really?
Bella
That's
Bag.
fun. That's fun.
And this year, Focus Branding is doing, they do promotional products.
yeah.
So they put a little bag, which is a miniature of this. I wish I'd brought one tonight because
know,
it's really, really cute. Anyhow, it's a miniature Fill-A-Bag, and it has all these little promotional products in it. And they're asking people to give them $5 for the bag with a flashlight and all these other things in it. But 100% of the proceeds go to SnowCap.
That's great.
And so Focus Branding bought the bags, paid for the thing, so that was their donation, plus
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And then people get something fun, but they're also
$5,
contributing.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
And so that kind of, raising those kind of pounds will take care of SnowCap for a long time during the year. And there's so many other needs that the people that SnowCap services. They do utility assistance also. They do education programs. They do teach people how to garden.
yeah,
you
the
know, and so
community
forth.
garden.
So-
Yeah.
So there's a lot of other things that they can worry about in our community without having to worry about raising the money for the food.
This is important, and it's wonderful for people in the community to be taking care of each other.
Yes.
Because you never know when it could be you.
Well, another thing too is, and the people who aren't familiar with SnowCap, first off, they don't take any government funding, and they've been around for maybe 45, 46 years now. But 93% of all the money you donate goes back to the people. So they have a
And that's
7%,
important.
7% overhead, which is pretty good, I think. I mean, and
it's
it's because they have so
amazing.
many darn
Don't you wish you had
volunteers.
7% overhead? Yeah.
It's amazing. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's,
quite
they're
frankly,
very well run, very well
And because
organized.
they're such a good organization, they got Bess and I up here talking about them. This is free to them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty. Judy probably should be CEO of the year. I mean, she's at home right now watching this,
Judy's
going,
pretty awesome.
doing
Judy's
this, like,
pretty
oh,
awesome,
I
yeah.
got. But I mean, that's what's so neat about that is they have such a good reputation. They've done so much good that Bess and I will take time out of our evening to be here to talk
Yeah,
about them.
yeah.
And
I thought you just want to see me.
Well, that was.
Disappointed.
I didn't want
And
to say
we're
that
almost out of
live.
time. So what else do we need to know before we shut this off, Bess?
well, again, just really important. There's a lot of collection places around the community, and so if you need to clean out your pantry and get rid of, some of those cans that you just don't have a
you
need
never-
for,
yeah.
that you don't have a need for, or you've gone on some new diet and you want to get it out of your house, please drop that off. But if you're looking to buy food, if you want to go to the store, buy baby food or
Yep.
buy those
Yeah.
kinds of things that they
Baby food
can't get at the
formula.
Oregon Food
Otherwise,
Bank.
money would be a great.
Otherwise, money, and no donation is too small. And there's, again, I want to read the always you can drop it by Gresham Ford, Gresham Outlook. If they brought it here to Metro
Oh,
East
we
Media,
get it to the right place.
they'll
Yeah,
get it to
okay.
the right place. The city of Gresham has a jar. There's a lot of places throughout the community that you could drop it off. And so, just again, it's so, I think it's so important what you said, Monica, is that we can take care of our own in
Yeah.
our own communities.
Okay.
And it's so important.
Well, I hate to cut you off, but we are out of time. So
Okay.
I hope everybody got the message. I think they did. Thank you so much,
welcome.
Casey. And thank you,
Thank
Bess,
you.
for being here.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Yep.
Thank you.
And we'll be seeing you around the community and hoisting those bags and
fill
opening
bags.
up those envelopes of money.
Yep.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Thank you,
holidays.
thank you. And don't go away, we'll be right back. We've had a couple of organizations that are sort of community oriented but really focused on the holiday season. Now we're going to be talking with an organization that is a total different area, but something you need to be paying close attention to. So we'll be right back with the Bus Project.
KZME Radio is a new station that is committed to entertain, inspire, and connect our community through programming that celebrates local music, arts, and culture. It was created to put local music and local arts on local radio, and it is a vehicle for our creative community to gain exposure while also celebrating what the Portland metro area has to offer.
Hey folks, I'm Mike Midlow from the band Pancake Breakfast. What's so cool about KZME? Well, it's local music. You can't go to every live show. Believe me, I've tried. So you could tune into KZME and hear a bunch of music that you might not get to see otherwise. Why should you support KZME? Well, it's pretty obvious. If you like Portland Town, USA, homegrown music, independent radio, and if you believe in the powers of rock and roll, then contribute to KZME. It's music where you live.
For more information on how to support and get involved with 1071 FM KZME Radio, see our website, www.1071fm.org. KZME Radio, music where you live.
Community television is what participatory democracy is about.
Like my friend Laird Ross says, it's the last great American soapbox.
It gives me a voice.
I'm glad it's available.
It's incredibly important to protect a place where all users of locally based nonprofit media have a place to speak and share their stories.